Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Patek Philippe 5134P. You can see and you can purchase this Patek Philippe Calatrava travel time on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch with accessories included in the sale, high-resolution images, and naturally complete pricing details for this dual time zone Patek Philippe. Now, the watch on my wrist is sometimes called the 5134, sometimes called the Calatrava travel time. What I know for a fact is that it had a relatively short production span from 2003 to 2008, but it represents the absolute best of Patek Philippe both historically and during the 2000s. Now, the watch has a very versatile size. 37 millimeters is probably the best measurement, as you can find several different measurements depending on the diagonal you use to actually span the case with calipers, but 37 is the truest measurement from roughly 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock. So not inclusive of the pushers for the time zone function, nor of the crown guards and crown. In terms of thickness, well, frankly, it just isn't. 10 millimeters thick, it features a generously sloped case flank plus a wonderful domed bezel that easily slides underneath a sleeve or any formal dress cuff. From lug to lug, the size is good, but again, not overbearing. This is Patek Philippe tradition. This is for the purist. 46 millimeters from lug to lug, and you can see how beautifully those lugs taper. When the case size is constrained to a reasonable one, it's easy to extend a lug so they have a beautiful fluid grace. That's something that's missing in many modern watches. Now, because it is all in platinum with platinum clasp, it's hefty on the wrist. It feels like a bigger watch. Eyes closed, you'd swear it's a bigger watch. But again, platinum is the answer, and you can see the signature in the modern era of a Patek Philippe platinum watch, the diamond set between the lugs at 6 o'clock, and I think most will agree this is perhaps the most appropriate use of a diamond in a men's watch, short of use as a capstone on a tourbillon. That would be the ultimate, but this is just fine, quite frankly. Beautifully made. The strap is thin, it's plain, it's formal, and it's perfectly suited to the white metal and the silver dial. You can see minimally bolstered monotone stitch, rectangular scale alligator leather, and it has a matching Patek Philippe Calatrava cross filigree style single fold deploying clasp. Again, nice that it's made in platinum to match the case because it acts as a sturdy counterweight on the underside of the wrist, such that if you do like to wear your watch loose, and many do, the watch doesn't have a tendency to capsize. The clasp balances out the case. Now, the watch does have a wonderful grace to it. It's all in high polish. There isn't any satin finish short of the graining of the dial. Now, moving inboard from that beautiful domed bezel, you see a relatively subtle but cool, clean, unadorned, and beautifully balanced Patek Philippe dual-time dial. Now, part of the mystique here is just how easily this watch hides its dual time zone functionality. Now, you can see if I displace the hour hand, now you can see, by moving the local hour hand, you can see the skeletonized reference time that can be hidden when you don't need it, allowing the 24-hour scale at 12 o'clock, which is keyed to that skeletonized reference hand, to act as an AM-PM indicator. Again, when the hand is superimposed, it's an AM-PM indicator for where you are, but when you're reading separate times on separate hour hands, the 24-hour scale acts as an AM-PM for your reference time, the time where you are not. Great if you have far-flung friends or business connections. Now, the dial does feature a little bit of a contrast in finish from the hour track to the inner dial, and it makes for a change in the shade as the watch reacts to light, so it provides a little bit of visual nuance and articulation. And outboard, there's a subtle and traditional railroad-style minutes track for easier judging of the minutes, and you can see just how beautifully extended that Dauphine-style minutes hand is, kissing the minute track outboard. Perfectly proportioned hands on this watch. You'll also note that the Patek Philippe marquee at 3 o'clock is relatively small and discreet, yet another contrast to current production. And of course, there's a gorgeous countersunk constant seconds with its own small sector chapter ring at 6 o'clock, beautifully balanced. Now, I like the counterbalanced curves of the travel time pusher adjusters against the crown guard. This is a case where even those who prefer their Calatravas without crown guards will probably admit that there's a nice visual balance afforded by the contrast of the two across the lateral of the case. And on the case back, Perhaps the most interesting application of Patek Philippe's caliber 215 manually wound base, the combination of the 215 with its 4 Hz beat rate, free-sprung Gyromax style balance, and its 44-hour power reserve, works well with the thin profile of the watch and its mission as perhaps the most discreet and elegant travel time dress watch. Of course, this one with a silver dial, black leather, and a white metal case also pairs well with smart casual attire, and of course on either side incredibly handsome. Again, from 2003 to 2008 this watch was made, so it never existed in the era of the Patek Philippe seal, which came on board in 2009. This one is Geneva hallmark, and you can see gloriously so. Because it is manually wound, its bridges and plates are completely unadorned, and you get to enjoy all of it. You can see and you can purchase this highly regarded, beautifully proportioned, and again, short-lived but revered Patek Philippe Calatrava Travel Time 5134P on our website.